What's up, WP Venture crew? Today we're going to go through Booster for WooCommerce and take a look at one of the most powerful plugins that you can use for WooCommerce, whether you're building websites just for yourself or for clients. Let's go ahead and supercharge WooCommerce today. Here we go. Okay, so in today's video, what we want to do is we want to go through the Booster for WooCommerce plugin and just highlight some of the main features of the plugin that you can use for your WooCommerce website. So you may be building your own WooCommerce website, or you may be building WooCommerce websites for clients. Either way, Booster is an amazing plugin that's going to help you extend the default functionality of WooCommerce. If you're not familiar with what WooCommerce is WordPress's e-commerce platform. Okay, so the base WooCommerce plugin is free, and there are many features and plugins that WooCommerce offers in order to extend the functionality of the basic version of WooCommerce. Lots of stuff comes out of the box with WooCommerce, like being able to do shipping options and being able to add variable products and being able to edit stock and prices on items and all that good stuff, right? What Booster is going to do is Booster is going to allow you to do over 123 other custom things with WooCommerce. So I run a digital marketing agency called Bandicoot Marketing, and in that agency, we build WooCommerce websites for clients. And as a part of that building process, we often run into situations where we're getting ready to build a WooCommerce website for clients, and we are running into functionality issues. The client is asking for something like custom button labels, or something like subscription management, or something like wholesale pricing for their customers, or cart abandonment emails, all these things that we have to look at. And so we take all those features and we say, what can we do to not only install WooCommerce and build it for the client, but also extend it with features. So Booster for WooCommerce is a plugin that we absolutely use on a regular basis at our agency when we build WooCommerce websites for clients. And what I would like to do today is to go through what I feel like are the most powerful features out of that suite of plugins that comes along with Booster for WooCommerce, okay? So just a quick overview, really quick, of what Booster is. So again, WooCommerce is free out of the box, but there's a lot of things that you might want to do with WooCommerce that you can't do out of the box with WooCommerce. So you either have to use a paid plugin or you have to use something like Booster. So what Booster does is Booster actually takes over 123 different things that you can do with Booster, and it puts it all into one plugin that you install to go with your WooCommerce website that allows you to add lots of different features to WooCommerce. So one of the biggest advantages to this is that it allows you to not have to install 27 other random one-off plugins to accomplish everything you want to accomplish with WooCommerce. So for instance, you might have a WooCommerce website where you want to do better cart abandonment, you want to do unique currencies for different parts of the world, you want to do an invoice and packing slip that goes along with each order, and you want to customize the checkout fields for WooCommerce. Well, normally you'd have to do that with probably 3 or 4 different plugins that you plug into WooCommerce, but with Booster, you purchase the license and you install one plugin, and then you have access to turn on all these different features all in one plugin. This was the genesis of how we stumbled on Booster in the first place, is that we wanted to be able to extend our client sites without having to install lots of different plugins. In case you weren't aware, the more plugins you install in a WordPress install, the slower the site will get, and the more susceptibility you have to plugin conflicts, where 2 plugins get installed and then they don't play nicely with each other, and then they cause problems. The other advantage to using one plugin for all these different features rather than multiple different plugins is that you reduce the amount of updates that have to happen across multiple different plugins for multiple different things. So Booster will push one update that happens and comes through your WordPress dashboard, and then you can go ahead and update Booster and it updates all these different things rather than having 4 or 5 different plugins installed to do all of this and having to update all of those. So Booster is a great plugin. As I mentioned, we use it on a regular basis to do lots of different things and extend WooCommerce. It's really a really powerful toolkit for being able to install and then make WooCommerce way more powerful than it is by default. So what I'd like to do today, like I mentioned, is just go through. I'm not going to do an in-depth tutorial on how to set up Booster and how to use it. I really just want to make the subscribers of this channel and anyone who watches this video aware of what you can do with Booster. So I want to help you make the decision today of, is Booster right for me, and is it worth the money for me to spend to go ahead and use it to extend what I do with WooCommerce, whether either for my own store or for a client's store. So you can see here that there are so many different features in this list of what Booster can do in order to allow you to extend what WooCommerce can do out of the box. So I'm going to go through several of these features and just show you individually what you can do with them. But in general, you have things like subscription customization. This is actually allowing you to create subscription products in WooCommerce and customize them. Cart abandonment features to send emails to clients when they abandon their cart, or to potential customers when they abandon their cart. Product variation swatches allows you to add different colors and sizes that go along with the variations of each product. Wish list features allows you to add wish list features to allow a customer to add products to their wish list. Frequently bought together is like related items, so you can show different items that are bought together. One-page checkout is a really good feature that we use on a lot of different customer sites that takes what normally is a 3-step checkout process in WooCommerce and puts it into one feature, and then extra fees on a product. So there's lots of different categories of features that Booster is going to add. I was so blown away the first time I looked at this by how many different features they have packed all into one plugin here with Booster. It's absolutely amazing, and we have just used and abused this plugin on all the different sites we've built it onto. Different currency options here. You can see bulk prices, different currencies, setting a currency per product, so a Chinese price on one product and a US dollar price on another product. Buttons and price labels, just changing what the different buttons in WooCommerce say obviously has to be done with custom code if you don't use something like Booster. Different short codes of showing invoices or cart stuff or products or different things like that on different pages in your WordPress website. Different products, so you can do bookings even with Booster, which is amazing. That saves you another plugin you don't have to use for bookings. Cart and checkout, being able to just customize what fields. I don't know about you, but every time I've done a WooCommerce website in the past, when I've had to do like cart and checkout features, I don't love how WooCommerce checkout works by default. It really needs to be better. It needs to be more streamlined. It needs to be more like Shopify, to be completely honest. And so what I've used with Booster is to turn on this one-page checkout, which is amazing, and it just combines the entire WooCommerce checkout process down into one page, which is great. So I'm going to show you that in a few minutes. Payment gateways, orders and shipping, PDF invoices, shipping, email tools to be able to do add custom tools here, as well as send emails, and then PDFs on all those features as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and jump into some of the specific features that I feel like are the most valuable in Booster and that you might be the most interested in, and just show you how they work, each of them individually in the WooCommerce website. Okay, so jumping right in here, we at our agency, we own a paid license for Booster. So Booster, because Booster adds so many custom features to WooCommerce, there are no free plans with Booster. So all the plans that you're going to sign up for with Booster do cost money. So this will show you what the back end of Booster looks like when you use it to extend your WooCommerce website. Okay, so this is the back end of Booster. After you install the plugin, you can see here that you get a full dashboard that allows you to connect to all the different features of Booster. So under WooCommerce, you just go to Booster settings right here in the left menu, and your different features that Booster will add into WooCommerce are separated into categories across the top here. So prices and currencies is one, buttons and price labels, products, and so on, all the way through to your emails and miscellaneous all the way on the right. So as you go through and add and activate each of these features to add into your WooCommerce install, you can just go into each of these categories. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull up the all plugins list and just show you the whole list of plugins here, okay? So you can see here's all 123 plugins from top to bottom that allow you to enable each of these features. And the way that you enable any particular feature is that you would go ahead and find the feature that you want to enable, and you can actually just check this box and then hit Save Changes. And when you hit Save Changes, that feature that you just checked is enabled. So then you can go ahead over to the settings for that feature, and then you can see here are all the settings for that particular feature in Booster. So this brings me to just one note before I jump into each of the individual features that I'd like to run through, as what I would say is the only downside or con that I see to Booster for WooCommerce. So for any of you who are beginner WooCommerce users or beginner website users, and even for those of you who are running maybe small agencies and are doing very kind of user-friendly type things with different WordPress websites and WooCommerce websites, the Booster interface as far as how you use it. So when you enable a feature, they have all these different categories you can see of things you can do with that feature. So this particular feature that I enabled says set any local URL to redirect to an add to cart. So you can choose any URL on your website and have it redirect to an add to cart. You can automatically add to cart on product visit, radio buttons instead of Dropbox for various products, lots of different things it allows you to do. And then you go through in your settings here and you can set them. Here's the one downside I would say you have to Booster, and that is that it can become very overwhelming. So I don't think that Booster has done a great job of organizing all of these different features into a very user-friendly UI UX for a user to use. It can be very complicated to kind of go through here and find all the different settings that you want to enable and then set them correctly. So I've found that our team is often using the documentation, which you can see is easily linked here, but we're often going back to the documentation to make sure that we got all the settings set correctly. Booster is one of those plugins that will let you do amazing things with what it can do, but it does take a little bit of learning on the front end in order to get familiar with how it works and how to set it all up. Okay, so just know that if you do commit to investing in Booster in order to build better WooCommerce websites, it will take you a little bit to get all the features set up and working correctly. So it's not the most user-friendly of plugins, but it is by far, I would say, the most powerful extension plugin for WooCommerce when you're talking about fitting all kinds of features into one plugin. Okay, so inside the plugin in the back end, you get this Booster tab in your WooCommerce settings, and from there on, you're ready to go. You just jump in and you can find any of your different things that you want to add, different features that you want to enable, all that kind of stuff. And when you're ready to enable one, again, if you're looking on the left here, you just hit enable module and then set all your settings and you're good to go. Okay, so obviously, again, going through the different settings can be a little bit overwhelming, but once you get the hang of it and you go through and find all the different settings you want to find, you can go ahead and do that. So let me jump in and show what I would say is the list of the most powerful features that are in Booster. So the first one I wanted to jump into is called custom emails. So the custom emails feature, out of the box in WooCommerce, you are able to send emails to customers when they purchase an item or when they sign up for an account or all those different things. Custom emails allows you to create additional number of emails to be sent to the customer when different things happen. So you can set different triggers. You can set an email title. You can add these custom emails into WooCommerce. This is very useful. We have used this very many times when we've installed WooCommerce websites for clients, because the emails that come out of the box are great in WooCommerce, but often you want to add different emails that get triggered and shot out for different actions. Okay, so it's really, really great feature to have this custom email feature to allow you to send a custom email to a customer when something happens in the WooCommerce website. So lots of great uses for this. You can even edit the custom email and decide what you want it to say. We have used this many, many times. Okay, so the first feature that comes along with Booster that I think is one of the most powerful and valuable in Booster is being able to send custom emails from WooCommerce. The second one we'll look at is called a global discount. So a global discount allows you to set just that. You can go into WooCommerce and you can say, I want to set a global discount across all my products in WooCommerce. There's no way to do this out of the box in WooCommerce. If you just have a flash sale that's 10% off all your products on the site, if you have 1,000 products, the only way to do it in WooCommerce right now is to go in and discount all those products or to use a separate plugin for this. So this is a great feature that lets you just set one global discount across all the products in your store. And this is a really powerful feature if you're just running a flash sale or you want to go ahead and just set one discount temporarily across all the products on your store. This will help you do that. The third feature we'll look at here is called the currency switcher. So this allows you to not have to use a whole separate currency switcher plugin or feature. that comes along with WooCommerce. So if you're not using a theme or a template that you bought for WooCommerce that comes with the currency switcher built in, you have to use a whole separate plugin for it. So this currency switcher has very powerful, as you can see here, there's lots of different settings. There's a screenshot here that lets you, basically when you enable this feature, it adds a little checkbox here or a little drop down onto your product that lets you choose between multiple different currencies, and you can set those currencies in the settings of the products. Okay, so there's lots of different details here in Booster to show you how you choose those different currencies, and good documentation here for how you go ahead and configure this plugin, which we won't do in this video, but this is also a great feature that lets you switch currencies very easily for the user between different currencies on a product. The next one we'll go at is the My Account section. So another thing that's not super easy to customize in WooCommerce if you don't use a plugin is the My Account section. So adding different sections in the My Account page, looking at different areas of the My Account page, all that kind of stuff. So in our test website here that we have set up for WooCommerce, you can see here that if you go to My Account, in the My Account section here, you have your different standard kind of out-of-the-box WooCommerce things that are on the left here, okay? So what the My Account section does, or what the My Account plugin for WooCommerce does in Booster, is it lets you add order statuses, it lets you do all these different things for the menu in My Account, so you can really customize. We built client portals and use this feature to allow us to customize what menu options show up for the customer along the left. Lots and lots of powerful features that lets you basically take the standard My Account WooCommerce section and do all kinds of customizable things to it. So that's a really powerful feature as well that's built into Booster. The next feature we want to look at that I think is one of the most valuable for Booster is a one-page checkout. So this is absolutely one of the absolute best features in Booster, I believe, and one that we use. So the standard WooCommerce checkout, as you guys are probably familiar with, walks you through the process of adding an item to your cart, right? So let's choose our options, and we choose our options, and then we add to cart. So once that's that way, we can view our cart, and then we can do anything we want to do here, and then we can proceed to checkout for another step, and now we're in our final checkout step. And then once we put in that information, we proceed to payment. Okay. So what the one-page checkout option is going to do is it's going to enable you to, once you add a product to a cart, it's going to go to a one-page checkout. It's much faster to go to a one-page checkout. So what I'm going to show you here is how to enable this feature and just show you how it looks like on the website once we have it enabled, and how easy it is to enable a feature in Booster and then see it on the front end. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead into the back end of Booster again. I go to the cart and checkout category, and then I go to one page checkout, and then I check the box, and then I hit save changes, and that's going to enable that feature. So I'm going to go to settings, and you can see here that enable module is checked since I've already done that. Okay. So I can choose specific products if I want to do one-page checkout on, which is pretty cool. So that one-page checkout would only apply to a particular product. And then I can also do a position priority as well. Okay, so this is basically adjusting the priority of what position the products are in. I can use shortcodes to display this. If you're a developer, an engineer that knows how to do a little bit fancier stuff, you can use shortcodes as well. All right, so one-page checkout is amazing. It combines all the separate checkout process down into one single page. The next feature we're going to look at is called the next feature we're going to look at is called WooCommerce Prices by User Role. So this simple feature allows you to set a particular price for all user roles. So it's not one particular user, but it does allow you to set a unique price for a user role. So for instance, you can set up a particular user role in WordPress that is your customer, and then you can set a unique price for that user role. So maybe admins or a particular type of user that's shopping on your store that you set in WordPress sees a certain price, and then another type of user role sees another price. So internal people may be purchasing a product at a discount because they're employees, versus customers seeing a full price. You can set up multiple user roles for different types of customers and allow them to see a unique price as well. Next is subscription customization. There's so much in this feature that we're not going to dive deeply into it. But what we basically need to, what basically it is it's the ability to add subscription customization to WooCommerce. So allowing subscriptions to be created, and then allowing subscriptions to be canceled, allowing all different things to happen with subscriptions. This is a very, very powerful option that comes along with Booster. This is also one of their newer features, okay? So one of their newer features allows you to do all this different subscription management that you can't normally do in WooCommerce out of the box. You can now, and manage all of these subscriptions with the Booster plugin. So this is another very powerful feature that lets you set all these different subscription settings where somebody can actually purchase a subscription on your website just because you're using Booster on your site, which is great. The next feature is called Wholesale Prices. This is a very powerful feature, another one that we also use for clients all the time, where we build WooCommerce websites for them and we allow wholesale prices to show. So for instance, you might want to set a price that's a retail price for your customer and then set a wholesale price for your wholesalers or your distributors or another type of customer that's going to log in and see a wholesale price. So there's tons of different features here as well that let you set wholesale prices for your customers. So you can see here bulk prices as well you can do here. And the whole pricing module is set here. You can set all different types of prices that are set for wholesale or different types of discount pricing because it's a wholesale price. The next feature we'll talk about is bookings. This is in my list of most powerful, valuable features. This bookings plugin in Booster with a little customization will allow you to run full booking options from your WooCommerce website without needing a separate booking plugin. So most of you are familiar with WordPress and WooCommerce. WooCommerce has its own paid bookings and appointments add-on. If you use this bookings part of Booster and you pay for Booster, you don't have to use a whole separate bookings plugin. So you could do your own bookings, sell your own bookings from your website, and this is a very, very powerful feature. Just like subscriptions, it has lots and lots of different features that are built into it, but it's just know that if you're considering Booster, this is a full-featured bookings plugin for WooCommerce that's built into Booster. Cart abandonment is another thing. Some of you may purchase a whole separate, you may think I have to purchase a whole separate cart abandonment plugin and install it in WordPress in order to use it. But cart abandonment comes along with Booster. So can you see here by this point how important or how many features are packed into Booster all together in one plugin? So having cart abandonment allows you to set all these different rules for being able to send emails out to somebody who abandons their cart. How often do you want to send them? When do you want to send them based off what criteria? What triggers do you want to send in order to send the cart abandonment email? How many emails do you want to send? You can edit the emails that go out and edit the email content for when it's sent to the customer. This is an amazing, very powerful piece of Booster that lets you do full cart abandonment, for which, if you're not familiar with what cart abandonment is when somebody has items in their cart but then abandons the cart and doesn't purchase something. You can set Booster up in your WooCommerce website or for your clients in WooCommerce to be able to do cart abandonment emails directly from within Booster. Checkout core fields is a smaller feature, but it's really handy. We use this a lot for customers and clients who really want to kind of customize what happens with WooCommerce checkout by default. So when you enable this plugin by default, basically, it allows you to edit the core fields that show for WooCommerce checkout. So you can hide the additional information field that shows in WooCommerce, or you could hide any of the default checkout fields that show in WooCommerce. You can actually hide them, or you can add your own custom fields in order to customize the checkout fields in WooCommerce. So this is a really handy feature for cleaning up WooCommerce checkout and just making it much more easy for a customer to get through the checkout process. Custom fields is what I just mentioned. This allows you to add a brand new custom field into the WooCommerce checkout process that's not there. We used this recently on a customer's website, on a client's website, where they wanted to collect additional information from a customer during checkout. So you can use this feature to do that. And then the final one that we'll talk about is cost of goods. So cost of goods allows you to track cost of goods for an item. So this doesn't come by default in WooCommerce either. And this plugin this feature of the Booster plugin simply allows you to customize, to add in a cost of goods amount so you can track and report on what your profit margins are on your products. So in WooCommerce, if you're selling e-commerce, Right now out of the box, there's no way to track what cost of goods is on your items. So in your reporting, you can see sales and you can see shipping and all your revenue, but you can't really track profitability because you can't track your cost of goods. Well, you can now with this feature of Booster as well. Okay, so the last thing we'll look at here is just talk about pricing a little bit. I think a lot of you might watch this video and go, that looks really good. I think I could definitely use that on WooCommerce. What does the pricing look like? So I just wanted to run through that real quick, talk about what we feel like is a good plan to get on, and which plan might work best for you depending on where you are and what you're doing. So so Booster offers 3 plans. Again, there is no free version of this just because WooCommerce is free. So this is really just premium features for WooCommerce. So what they're going to have is 3 plans here. And the main difference between them is the main difference between Pro and Elite is the features you get. And then the main difference between Elite and Agency is just the amount of websites that you can install on. Okay. So Pro is their most basic option. There is no one-time fee option or lifetime option on this subscription. It's just going to be $99 a year. You can definitely see that, that's going to be, like $8 a month. It's pretty cost effective if you are paying for that. And it's going to include 50 of the 120 or so plugins that come along with Booster. So that includes buttons and price labels, which we didn't really talk about, but that lets you change the labels on your buttons. Prices and currencies for a currency switcher. Products features, allowing you to do the different things with products. PDF invoices and packing slips, and then you get updates and support. And then you can do that on one site. The Elite option is the one in the middle here, and Elite allows you to have access to all the features of Booster. So many of the ones that we talked about in our video review today are going to be in Elite. This also only lets you do one site though. So this Elite would be great. Elite or Pro, honestly, would be great if you're just running one site. If you're a single user and you're running one WooCommerce site, then this will allow you to go ahead and just use Elite or Pro, depending on what features you need, in order to save a lot of money on lots of different plugins for your own store. So if you're running your own store or you're just building one website that's WooCommerce and you want to do a lot of fancy things with it, Elite or Pro is for you. For those of you who run agencies like us, we're on the agency plan. What the agency plan allows you to do is install all of these Booster features on up to 30 websites. So this more than pays for itself for our agency and how we run it and the WooCommerce websites that we build. This allows us to build lots and lots of different websites to extend WooCommerce and make it do things that it doesn't do out of the box, and then we can just pass the cost along to the client. Really, is what we do, right? So we build a website for a client, and we say, hey, it can do this, it can do this, it can do all these fancy things, and then we use one of our site licenses from Booster, and we allow them to use those features, with us as long as they're on an ongoing recurring plan with us. If a customer does ever want to leave at that point and they want to switch to a different web developer or a different host or whatever it is, then we just let them know, hey, you're going to need to purchase probably your own Pro or Elite license for Booster at that point. But these are your 3 payment options, Pro, Elite, and Agency. So again, Pro and Elite for you, those of you out there that are running one single website, and then Agency is out there for those of you who are running agencies and building websites for clients. There is a link below in the description that will let you get your Booster license, and there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So we always recommend with these guarantees, you can see here it's well reviewed also, and it's installed on over 100,000 websites. So you can see that the Booster team is going to know how many websites it's installed on, and so you have 30 days to try it out. So that's what we would really recommend, is use the link below in the description. That'll help us out a little bit in the channel. Go ahead and grab your license for Booster, install it, play around with it, see if the features can get set up the way you like them. Try it within 30 days. If it doesn't work for you, you can just reach out to the team and you can easily get a refund for that. So I hope you've enjoyed the review and the overview of the Booster for WooCommerce plugin today. Be on the lookout on the channel for lots more good content from us moving forward. The frequency of content is going to be increasing substantially here in the next few weeks on our channel. So be on the lookout for that. And if you don't mind, it would be great if you could help us out by hitting the like button on this video and then subscribing to the channel. And we will be doing many more software and tool reviews for WordPress like this in the future. All right, well, take care and cheers. We'll see you soon.